pre-arm wrestling live video. Let's see, if you're wondering why this says maybe guest, it's because we could have a mystery guest, could be you. I put the link to this live in the description. But that being said, don't be, if I don't let you on it just because I don't personally know you, I'm just gonna let the people I know, people I've trained with and stuff like that. But that being said, we got a lot of options. Let's see. Today's practice, I wonder how it's gonna be. Well, I know it's gonna be a good one. What I meant by that is I wonder how the turnout's gonna be. Small turnout, big turnout. Oh, what's up, everyone? What's up, Brian? Brian, if you want to hop on, I don't know if you're around or not. But the link is in the description. If you want to hop on, we can talk about arm wrestling. But it's good. I got my nice warm gloves on. Make sure the fingers are all warmed up. Don't want to be popping any, ligaments in the fingers. Brian's working. That's all right, man. That's all right. With that being said, watch out for those big old dogs. Or maybe it's the little ones you gotta watch out. Watch out for those angry chihuahuas. They'll get you. But I wonder, YouTube was doing some weird stuff when I was trying to start this live. I had to try 3 or 4 times. It was I hadn't done it in a while. I was kind of hoping it was that old phone, but with this new phone, the same thing happens. Right before I go to right before I go to go live, it switches the description and the title up and jams them all up. All the hashtags get mixed up, and um, so I wonder what it looks like right now. I know people are listening while they're working, so they can't look it up right now. So I can always look it up after. I'm just thinking out loud, kind of a thing. But let's see. So let's play a little guessing game. So I am pretty close to the dungeon. If anyone can guess the location of where I am, I know it's a tricky one because the only thing you can really see is the that fence, that faded. Is it blue? Is it green? It's blue. Definitely blue. If I know my colors, it's definitely blue. But if anybody can guess the location of where I am doing this pre-arm wrestling live video, will get 25% off their next Team Stone purchase. Um, but I'll give you a hint. I am under 7 minutes away from the dungeon. Brian says description looks fine. No hashtags in there though. What's it say? Does it just say does it just have the link? Yeah, there's like Josh has this thing where it automatically puts a whole bunch of hashtags in there, so it must have glitched that out. Um, as long as the title's good, as long as the link's good, that should be good. But I appreciate you for checking, because more than likely I would probably forget, especially after training. I like to call it gym brain. It definitely, I mean, definitely arm wrestling brain too, but I like to say gym brain. If you don't know what gym brain is, it's when you start working out hard and your brain stops working, or it's still working, still keeping the heart the heart beating and everything else moving, but you just can't remember things, and some reason math gets extra hard unless it's in 45-pound increments. Then it's no problem. Brian says, "Yeah, the link is there, but and the title, but that is it." At least, well, that's good. That's good. At least, I wonder. I know like the hashtags are good, or at least they say they are at getting more views or something like that. So I wonder if it actually makes a difference, or how much. It'd probably be very, very tricky to even get a calculation on that or a scale. That's interesting. But let's see, we got 14 people watching. If you're not driving, people drive and listen. If not, hit that thumbs up button. Definitely helps out. If Carolyn was here, she'd definitely say hit that thumbs up button. She uh Sub Dog probably would agree. I think everyone would probably agree. So let's see, Cameron. What's up, man? Let's see. So he says, new to your channel, brother. Happy New Year. Be safe. Thanks, man. Happy New Year to you as well. He said, just want to know where you live. I live in Temple, Texas. I'm having a great year and I want you to stay safe. Oh, thank you very much, man. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you joining. I am in the East Coast of the United States. So if you ever make the trip up, man, come get some training in. We practice on Saturday and we practice on Tuesday. All levels are welcome. Newbies, world champions, all levels are welcome. As long the only requirement is you're here for the gains. Come here and train, have a good time. That's the only thing we ask for. Cameron says, "What do you practice?" That's a great question. So if like you just said, you're new. So let me tell you, I actually forgot. So before I answer that question, I have a question for you. We like to ask new people this question. So this is an arm wrestling channel, Stone TV. So the question is, who is your favorite arm wrestler and why, Cameron? Or maybe you're so new you don't know any athletes, so maybe you got some questions anyways. But let me answer your question. What do you practice? Practice arm wrestling. So I just happen to be a professional arm wrestler. That's my sport. That's my chosen sport. Cameron says Devin Lorette. That's a great choice. That's a great choice. Um, what makes him your favorite? Is it his ability on the arm wrestling table? Is it his character? Is it you just find him fun to watch in general? What makes him your favorite? I'm just generally curious. I appreciate you guys hitting that thumbs up. We doubled it since I said it. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Let's see. Cameron says he's just interesting to watch, and I love his kids. They all into arm wrestling. Absolutely. Yeah, they all have a bright future. If they stick with I mean, they're already doing great things. I mean, they're already on some pretty high stages, pretty high levels already, pay-per-views and stuff like that. So if they stay with it, they got tremendous amount of time. uh, They got, resources. They have resources meaning, training partners, even for not like knowledge and stuff like that on and off the table. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that whole entire family can take it. It's gonna be awesome. So let's see. Cameron says I'm not much of an arm wrestler. Used to be when I was young. I'm 57. I'm diabetic too, but I love to watch people arm wrestle. Just brings back memories when I was younger. Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. But I tell you what, man, I know 57 might be at the high end for most sports, but for arm wrestling, that's you'd be surprised. A lot of our world champions are that age or very close to it, give or take a couple of years over or under. Devin is 50 something. Devin's 50 something, and look how good he's doing. Arm wrestling is a very strange sport. It's a tendon sport, so that's one of the factors why um, you know the older athletes can be so still be dominant at the older ages because your tendons continue to get to continue to grow and get stronger as you age. But that being said, man, if you're interested, I know it said it reminds you of when you were younger, but if you're interested, man, definitely think about it. Definitely think about it because they have levels, different experience levels. They have different age classes. So, like for example, not all tournaments, but some tournaments will have all tournaments. You have masters class, which is 40 and up. Some will have a grandmaster and a super grandmaster. A grandmaster is 50 to 60, and the super grandmaster is 60 to 7 or 60 to 70, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But oh, I just found out the phone works with the gloves on, so that's a win. Let's see, that's a win. Drew, what's up, man? It's a Stone versus Levon versus Devin, 3-man tag team match. Who wins? So I'm about to do some strategy with that match. Hopefully, Levon and Devin go first, and they injure each other, and that's when I come in and do the old what was it? The wrestling WWE with they carry the briefcase around and then they cash it in, and then anyways, I think I might win that one. There's only one way to find out. And says I'm unthumbed, then thumbed again just to feel alive. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's why I say I might have heard me say it before. If you're feeling crazy, hit that thumbs up, unhit it, and then hit it again. That is funny. But I appreciate that, Brian. I appreciate that. Uh-oh, we're down one. So if you're gonna do that, make sure you hit the thumbs again. Make sure you don't miss it the second time. That is funny. Let's see. Cameron says, "Yes, sir. You still were out about that. I've got friends that are in their 70s and they're still arm wrestling, and they can beat me. But I do work out, but not as much as I need to." Well, hey, man. That being said, the best time to start is right now. So I don't know what your schedule like is today. Maybe you could find some time and get a good workout in, and then keep the momentum. You never know. You never know. But if you do hit the gym and get a good workout in, get the gains, we'll be live tomorrow. So I definitely want to hear that you got the gains. S, what's up, man? Let's see. Let's see. Brian says I started mixing morning powder into my pre-workout. We'll see how it does for the bones and tendons. Oh, I think you mean more, maybe more powder. I think it will be good. Brian says, "Oh, if they had a war first match, Nick cleans up. That's what I'm hoping for. It all comes down to the old, I think they'll probably either pick a number or draw straws. Maybe even do a coin flip if there's a three-sided coin. But there's only one way to find out. That match has to happen. So spread the word, guys." Cameron says, "I'm thinking that Devin should win, but Levon looks pretty strong. Don't know. Be a good match, but the last match wasn't so good for Devin. Thank God they're friends." Yeah, man, I could definitely see that. Um, it's a tricky. I mean, it's tricky, even though he lost, I mean, it's very tricky, He might have done a no, I did better on the second match, even though it was still 0-4, Levon won. I think that first round really, maybe I'm mixing them up. That first round where it stopped and Levon had to flop, that was probably the first time Levon had to do anything other than his main move to, get the win. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Oops. For some reason I can't get the gloves to work anymore. Cameron says, "Yes, sir. You're an inspiration." Oh, thank you very much, man. So thank you so much for your channel. I will watch your channel and I will work out in 2026 and get stronger. Maybe come and see you someday just to watch your arm wrestling. Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Um, I hope you get the gains. I definitely hope. I definitely am looking forward to tomorrow to seeing and well, I mean hearing the gains. Um, but I'm excited. You're definitely welcome to take the trip up. We have it's not scheduled, but in the spring summertime, we're going to have an event. It's the Turtle Man Classic 3. It's going to be the third annual Turtle Man Classic. It's a huge arm wrestling event. More than likely, we're gonna have the Super Series on the day before on Friday. It's not locked in. We're still planning things out. But yeah, man, if you feel like making the trip up to the East Coast, that'd be a good event too. Lays, what's up, man? So let's see. S says, "Nick, I saw your match. You went insane. What happened exactly throughout the match?" Well, I got a little amped up. Might have been a little amped up. Um, but yeah, my plan was just to redline it, and then once we redlined it, just break the switch so it just stays redlining. But mm, let's see, maybe you have a more specific part of the match that I can answer. Because to be honest, I was so amped up, I still don't. It's all mixed up in my head. You know what I mean? I watched the video, but it's you know what I mean. I still remember things a little differently. Well, time frames are different. I'm a little mixed up. So see, Brian says moringa is a plant with good antioxidant properties and amino profile. Lots of vitamin C, supposed to build fibroblast and support collagen synthesis. Oh, that's cool. I thought that was a typo before, but now I know. See, we learn something every day. That says, "What were you thinking or like game plan? And what does chance arm wrestling feel like?" Um, my game plan was to pretty much to turn him palm up and then get ready for that big old flop. Um, I mean, he's he's a good puller, very experienced. good back pressure, good side pressure, strong hand. Um, his ability to go from change directions was very, very smooth. Um, so that was something. Drew, what's up, man? Perfect timing. So Cameron says, "Have you ever met Devin?" I haven't. I would sure love to meet him. Love to meet you too, brother. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Anytime, man. Just Nightbot. There's a little comment on Nightbot, and it puts my Facebook and my Instagram. If you want to shoot me a friend request, I can send you the details when it's locked in about the Turtle Man event. But I met Devin twice so far. Once in West Virginia at the first East versus West finals. If you want to see our arm wrestling video, um, there's a video of Devin and I arm wrestling. It's probably 2 or 3 years back in my videos. Um, so you have to do some scrolling, but it's definitely there. Um, yeah, stuff I've met him before. Second time was at the East versus West event in Jersey, where Jerry faced Levon. Just real, we didn't really. We were both the quartermen for Jerry. That's pretty much the only time. That's pretty much all we had for meeting at the second time. But the first time, we definitely got some arm wrestling in. So let's see. Let's see. Camera says, "Well, that's awesome. I'm talking to a celebrity. I think you guys are swell. Keep up the good videos. From God bless you." Oh, I appreciate that, man. That's definitely nice. Yeah, definitely appreciate that. All good things. Well, all the good things that come from arm wrestling. And you know what they say? If you could make it, if you make it to the second practice, you're more than likely going to be, hooked for a long time. But as most people know, most people don't make it to the second practice just because um, it's a very, very unique stress that arm wrestling is. So that being said, if anyone's starting out new with their first time on the table, I would say don't go 100%. Maybe go 80 or 90%. Save a little bit. You'll understand the next few days. Because you'll be extremely sore, even if you don't do too much. Because it's such a unique stress on the body. Now, I was one of those people when I first started that I did not take that advice. Or I probably wouldn't if I don't think I was given that advice. I think I was kind of thrown to the wolves the first day. What? Well, you know what they say? If it doesn't break, it gets stronger. Let's see. But it was good. Me, when I first started, it was like the first, like at least 6 weeks straight of just, throbbing arms. Then the body started to adapt. Cameron says, "Have you ever broken any arms?" Not saying you should, just saying that when I see Devin arm wrestle, he doesn't want to break arms. He wants to fill you out first, right? Or am I wrong? So I haven't broke anybody's arm. Um, unfortunately, just like small muscle tears. In practice, a few people have gotten small injuries, which is definitely unfortunate. Um, but it's part of the sport. But to answer that question about Devin, I would say there's, from what I see, there's two different types of arm wrestling. One is at practice where he is, definitely depending on who it is, if it's somebody new or a lower level, he's concerned, at least thinking about safety versus in a competition. I'm sure he would have no problem at all breaking someone's arm in an actual match. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's part of the sport. If someone's arm breaks in a match, that's a win. You know. Now, I'm not saying that's what I want to see happen, but that's part of the sport. But yeah, he's definitely will definitely feel you out a lot in practice. Try to figure out, and then if he does, good luck. It says, when will you work out so I can also do a workout along with your stream? It actually kind of makes me motivate and almost feels like I am working out with you. Oh, that's awesome, man. Um, so let's see. I'm going to be arm wrestling around 10 a.m. So about 30 minutes from now. But the arm wrestling video is going to be for the members only. Um, so if you want to train along for today for this first workout, you're gonna have to become a member. So keep that in mind. With that being said, we'll more than likely do a recovery workout later on in the evening. I'm not sure on the exact time. It will probably be, it probably won't be till 5, 6 p.m. Um, Eastern time. So I'm not sure what that is where you are right now. I think you're in California. So let's see, maybe one ish. Yeah, I'll be arm wrestling around 10. That'll be on the members, and then I'll be doing a recovery lift around 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern time. Brian says, I need to meet the person who can go 90%. He's a mythical creature. Figure. Nope. Uh, Didn't even look. I just guessed what he wrote. But I should look when I read. Definitely is. He definitely is. It's tough. It's tough, especially if, most people come from a competitive background, different sports. So and also a lot of people enjoy, training hard and, the feeling of, exerting themselves. Um, so it's very tricky. It's very tricky. So see, Tamer says, well, will this be live streamed? Sure, would like to get this on YouTube and watch your arm wrestling. So I do put the training on the I do live stream it, but the only workouts that are public are my recovery workouts, my light stuff. All my heavy stuff, my medium stuff, and my arm wrestling training is on the members videos. That's one of the benefits of being a member to Stone TV. Uh, but since I keep on saying the Stone TV memberships, might as well say all the perks. Um, I don't have anything to show you with me. All the shirts and everything is in the gym, but we got Team Stone shirts. We got actually we do have Turtle Man shirts, but the 5% discount I was going to tell you about, that's the only item it's not applied to because that is for charity. 100% of the money from the Turtle Man 2 t-shirts is given to the Turtle Man charity. Um, we have handles, arm wrestling straps, t-shirts. If you become a member, you get 5% discount on all of that stuff. As long as you're a member, you can use as many times as you like. You also get a 5% discount on coaching, arm wrestling coaching, powerlifting, um, personal training in person, as well as, FaceTime, so even if we're far away, I can still train you right on the phone. Also, too, you'll be able to see a incredible pay-per-view. The first ever Dungeon Super Series, the only place on earth to watch it is the Stone TV membership. 9 incredible matches. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? Am I for don't think I am. Let's see. Artem says, "Devin would break your arm if he can in a match. That is an uneducated look on what's happening, though. Usually you can just snap an arm. Usually King's move, but he switches tactics." Um, I'm not sure what you mean by that. You're saying you're disagreeing with Devin would break someone's arm? But anyways, we appreciate the comment. I think I don't think he'd have any problem with it, especially in a real match. Now, in practice, I think he would have a problem with it. Um, but it's part of the sport. And if anyone's wondering what my Facebook is or my Instagram, Nightbot, put it right there. Um, Send me a friend request if you guys want to get any of those T-shirts, straps, the handles, um, info on coaching. Shoot me a message on one of those. Artem says to snap an arm, the other guy needs to be putting pressure in the right direction and vice versa. A lot more going on there. Pretty hard to snap a high level guy's arm. Really? Um, Still not sure what you're trying to get at. Um, Sounds like you're disagreeing with me, but I'm not sure what there is to disagree about. Maybe you're trying to explain something to me. I'm not really sure, but appreciate the comment. Then he also says, Artem says, why you never really see it at the high levels. So I think he's asking me a question now. I think. That's a question. Type it again and then just put a question mark at the end of it. That way I know it's a question. Sup, dog? What's up, man? That is funny. It's good old question mark. Let's see. Let's see. Cameron says, I will be watching your channel from now on. You're a great guy. Keep up the good work and keep up the good channel. Love to hear you talk about arm wrestling. Oh, thank you very much, man. That's greatly appreciated. And he says, how old are you? I am 31. Lucky number 31. If I remember correctly, I have to go back and count all the birthdays up. So Artem is saying, nah, I'm saying he pretty much can't, but he would if he could. LOL. Um, I guess I could see that. I mean, I definitely, yeah, I mean, the more conditioned you are, the less likely your bone is to break. But at the same time, the more horsepower you have brings that risk up, you know. But it's an interesting subject. It's a very interesting subject. But I've seen people break their arm in perfect positions, perfect top roll positions, not even nothing wrong, everything perfect. They have full hand control. Their opponent is completely palm up. They have everything, and I've seen spiral fractures and perfect positions, terrible positions. Um, so it could, could happen anything. Could happen anytime. There's even factors like if there's an injury, like if there's a stress fracture, from previous, and just waiting for that right little, shot that finally, sends it on its way. But it's definitely an interesting topic. So let's see. Cameron says, "Are you a strap guy? Because I think straps are pretty cool. Means that you can't get away, right? If I'm wrestling, I feel like I would be a strap guy. I'd be strapped onto the guy. Um, I enjoy both. I call it old school and new school. But what I mean by that is, no strap and bare hand arm wrestling. They're very similar, but at the same time, they're very different. Um, I think they're both extremely important. But most of the time, you're going to end up in the strap. So I would say I do most of my training with the strap. Um, because once unless people are going certain directions, but most of the time, once you get to a certain level, there's so much power and speed that people just can't keep a grip, and they just there's just too much power, so they need that strap to stay connected. Um, Plus, once you get to a certain level, most guys they don't hold on. You know what I mean? So there's no squeezing or gripping. If that makes sense. Sam says, "Nice hat." Ah, thank you very much, man. There's only two. We gotta get some hats. We're definitely gonna get them eventually. I gotta get them, but there's only two on planet Earth like this, and I have them both. One is on my head, and one is hung up on my wall. Let's see. Autumn says, "Yeah, my bad. My comments was in reply to Cameron's question asking why he said Devin doesn't go for snapping arms. LOL, I was explaining it's a tactical match." Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's very, very tactical. Um, yeah, Cameron's just getting into the sport, so he's asking some good questions because he's I think he's just getting excited. So I like to see those questions. Let's see. Subdog says, "Having a decent morning. How about you, champ?" I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. I'm glad to hear you're doing good as well. He also said Zarab busted his arm in good position. Yeah, I mean it's if you just like anything, if you I like to use this expression because it works for a lot of people. Imagine the human body as a work truck or as a drag race car. You know what I mean? You beef up the motor, you might twist something, could even bend the frame. You know what I mean? If there's so much power, you could even bend the frame or whatever. So the same thing with like arm wrestling. Um, but I think with him, I think there might have been like a prior stress fracture. I think that's a case a lot of times with the elite level pullers that have major arm breaks. Um, Now that's just my opinion. There's really no way to know unless people, get X-rays before the match. So let's see. Autumn says, "When was your last match, Nick? And have you gotten any coming up?" So my last match was December 6th versus Chance Shaw, and I'll tell you what, that was definitely my most intense match, and I don't think anyone would disagree. But I got a lot. There's lots of talk, nothing locked in, but I think 2026 is going to be a crazy, crazy year in a good way because there's lots of talk. Autumn says, "Have you been on East versus West?" So I haven't been on there as a super match. Lefty, I won the first ever finals, the first ever qualifier. I won left hand, the super heavyweights pro. So the only time I competed at actually I did the pre-qualifier and then the finals. So only every time I pulled at an East versus West event was the first East versus West finals tournament. I think it was 2023 in West Virginia, and that's the same place where I first met Devin, and the same place where we arm wrestled. So if you want to see Devin and I arm wrestle, we got a video. It's 2 or 3 years back. So you gotta do some scrolling, but it's definitely there. So Dog says make the hats in all colors, but keep the red ones for yourself. That's a great idea. That is a great idea, Sup Dog. That is a great idea. He says, Sup Dog says, yeah, Syrup said he was banged up before the match. That gave him his injury. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Ram Ram says, where is that camera guy? He's he's doing his own thing right now. He messaged me, said he's unable to hop on today, but you know you gotta do what you gotta do. But don't worry, he's doing good. Don't worry, Ram Ram, he's doing good. So let's see. Autumn says, bro, that's hectic. How did you go against Chance? Did you get the W? Yeah, I'll be keen to see you with Devin Nice. Um, so I think the match. I mean, it's on the Natty Bros event, the memberships, but I think there is a free video up. I'll tell you this. Now, it's the match outcome is out there, but I'll tell you this. I think I don't want to spoil it because I think you should watch the match without spoiling it. But I'll tell you this: it was an absolute battle to the absolute end. Um, every single round, was pulled, and there was definitely some energy there. So I would check it out. It's on the Natty Bros Arm Wrestling channel. Um, I think they have the highlights on there, so definitely check it out. I think the highlight video is only 3 or 4 minutes or something like that. Um, maybe it's 8 minutes. Yeah, I think I should do that. I won't spoil it because at least for me, if I know, I'm more than likely if I know the outcome of the match, I'm less likely to watch it. At least personally for me. I mean, unless it's athletes that I really want to see, if that makes sense. So Autumn says, "Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, that's better. Actually, watch the vid without knowing results." Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, it's definitely, at least for me, it's more enjoyable, and I'm at least 50% more likely to go out and watch it. Which is good for the sport. Because it's getting more views, and then other people are getting views, and it's getting whatever the algorithm thing going. I still don't understand the algorithm, but I know it's important for the YouTubes. Let's see, what time is it? What time is it? So, guys, I'm gonna hop off in about 3 to 5 minutes. Now, I know when people like to have fun, every time I say that, they say you got 60 seconds. You got less than 60 seconds, but we're gonna do at least 3 minutes. So until this tablet says at least 9:50, we're gonna be on. Yep, there it is. Drew says 60 seconds left. I knew it was coming. You probably typed it before I even said it, because there's a little bit of a delay, like 10 to 30 seconds delay from when you guys type to when I see. That is funny. So let's see. Autumn says, "How do you get into the zone going into a match? Do you pre-workout or smelling salts? And what about warm-ups?" So every match is different. I mean, everything's are similar. Um, Sometimes I'm completely calm all the way up until the match, until pretty much almost right before they're ready to go. Sometimes I'm, trying not to lose my mind because I'm so amped up. You know, um, but it depends. It depends. Also depends on what the game plan is. And yeah, definitely. Now, there's been a few matches where I have not warmed up. I've literally just walked into the super match cold, no warm up. Um, and there's been some matches where I've warmed up a lot, some matches where I've warmed up a little bit. So I've been experimenting with stuff, seeing what works best for me. Um, that's a great question, and we're gonna hop off pretty soon. But Artem, if you don't know, I'll tell you. Before arm wrestling, I used to be a power lifter. I can also, if you remind me tomorrow, I can answer that question from a powerlifter's point of view as well. Brian says, "Training tomorrow, bro?" Question mark. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not sure on what time, so shoot me a text, Brian. We'll set it up. I got there's a few things I got to figure out first, just to know what time. But I was saying start time is probably it's going to be either somewhere between 8 to 10 start time estimated. I just got to work out a few more things first. So let's touch base tonight, and then we'll get the games tomorrow. Sounds like Bill and Mike are going to join us, so it's going to be a full house. So we're going to have to keep the momentum. Oh, and actually, that'll be good. It's a full house because yesterday we ran out of propane, so it's going to be a cold one. So get ready. It's going to be a cold one. Let's see. Adam says, "Oh yeah, nice with a little. I forgot what it's called, but one of these things, Hawaiian hello." And he also says, "Have a good rest of your day, bro, the man." Oh, thank you very much, man. All right, guys. On that note, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you get your gains in. If you want to see me arm wrestle, you got to become a member. If you already are a member, we'll see you there. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you very soon.